Hello, and we are live. Hello, hello, and welcome to Passion Speak, where we give those with a passion a platform to speak. Our goal is to enlighten and inspire with stories of people who have a passion. My name is Sandra Jennings, and thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, and comment. So tonight, it gives me great pleasure to introduce this episode, this special edition of Passion Speak, where we will pay a tribute to Mr. and Mrs. Charles and Lorna Wade. In 1961, Mr. Wade had a heart for youth, and he had a heart for music. It was his feeling that youth who were not able to join athletic teams needed a place to call home. With the sponsorship help from Ted Raspberry of the Kent Community Action Program, the Grand Rapids Scarlet Rangers Drum and Bugle Corps was born. That was in 1961. For the next 25 years, the Drum and Bugle Corps was home and family to hundreds of youth from all over the city of Grand Rapids, all schools, all ages. The Corps met and practiced up to 4 times a week at the Sheldon complex. They traveled all across the Midwest and Canada year after year after year in heat, rain, sleet, and snow. Mr. Wade said, I would see so many kids who weren't able to get involved in athletics left by the wayside, and I wanted to see something these kids could do. Being a music lover myself, I thought a drum and bugle corps would be a good thing. Today, we are talking with the family of Charles and Lorna Wade, their daughter and granddaughter, Debra Wade and Jeri Wade. And welcome, Wade family.
Hello. Thank you.
Hey, I'm so happy that you guys, Jeri, how long we been trying to do this, girl? This been 6 months.
About it, yeah, almost a year now. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm so pleased that you guys, and I see Ronnie Wade is trying to connect with us and he's not getting on. Ronnie, you gotta re-click, brother. You gotta re-click, but because we want you in the stream. So, and we already got comments, guys. We got comments.
Okay.
Lord, we got. Let's acknowledge the comments, and then you guys can talk. We can talk a little bit more about what we're gonna do. Lori Williams Pinkley, miss them so much. She said,
"We miss you too."
Gabriel Hardley dropped in. I loved it.
Thanks, Gabe.
And if Lori and Gabe and Boo, I see you in the comments. If any of you would like to come onto stage and share your story, we would be more than happy to let you in.
Yes.
There's Boo. He says, "Hey, family."
Hey, Boo.
And we was bad. Lori said we was bad.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
We are honored. And Gabriel says, I thank God for the Wade family. You and a lot of other people.
Thank you.
I want to.
Don't you start.
No, don't start, Debbie.
You ain't made it on here yet.
Do not start. I have. Good. She said, "Let me in." Okay. Jeri, send her the guest link. Can you?
If I do it, I'm gonna end up going off.
I can send it to her.
Can you send it?
Because she got that laptop.
Look, Lori, that's Ronnie trying to get in. He can't get in just yet. He needs to. His device is not connected. Lori, Lori, Debbie's gonna let you in.
I just sent it to her.
And then Boo says, "The Wade family saved my life." Boo, we need you to come in. But before we do anything, I have a video that I want to show, and it kind of talks about the leadership of the Scarlet Rangers Drum and Bugle Corps. So here we go. I was sponsored by, and I'm gonna narrate this just a little bit. Hold on, how do I stop it? Hold on, I'm gonna start it over. It was sponsored by, or excuse me, this is going way too fast. Oh, how we hold it? I don't know how. Well, let's just enjoy it. This is a picture of Jeri Wade, little Jeri, and Debbie and Jeri, and this is Lorna and Mr. and Mrs. Wade receiving an award. And this is an award ceremony. This is Mr. Wade with the bus that we often took all across the country.
We can't see it. Are you sharing it with us?
I'm seeing. You can't see it on your screen?
No.
No.
You'll be able to see it
You
can't see it?
No.
Hold on. Let me see. Let me see if anyone. Okay. So okay, best laid plans, right? I don't know. I was thinking, yeah, Lori said, look at me. So I know they see it. Okay. Carmen said we can see it. This is the leadership of the Scarlet Rangers. Mine is the call. Thank you, Debbie.
Thank you, Debbie.
Ooh,
Still.
I'm gonna show it again because I want to show the leadership and how it broke out. Ronnie Wade was a drum leader, Jeri Wade was horn section, Debbie and Jeri were drum majors, and then Puppet and my mom and Mrs. Spearman and Mrs. Palmer served as parent volunteers for years. And I know that my mom served, I don't know, 7 or 8 years. I was in it about 5 years. Okay, and this is just, again, pictures of the leadership. And I have some more pictures I want to. Debbie, are you able to see the pictures? Uh-oh, you're muted. You have to be muted, so I see you.
I see it.
Okay, good. I want to apologize for the quality of the photos, but the photos belong to Mrs. Wade, and they remain the property of the Wade family, as well as Sarah Brooks's photo archives, as well as the Grand Rapids Press on some of the images. So these are some of what we did. Let's see who we got on. Ronnie is still not able to connect. Ronnie, please keep trying. I'm gonna go to the comments. Oh, Doretha said good history. Thank you, Doretha. We have more pictures and I want to show them all. So I have another batch that I want to show. It's only gonna take a minute. Actually, this one's about 2 minutes, and this is from the Corps from probably the early to mid 70s. So I'm going to show those. Just pictures. I see lots of familiar faces. Oh, that one got cut off. And we had a number of different uniforms. I see the Spearman brothers, and there's Robert Hamlet, Jetta Johnson. There is Socorro Nelson. Let me see. Debbie, you recognize any faces?
Yes, I see a lot of people I know. I seen Sam Hawkins and Teddy Patterson. Look at you. I'm just admiring how Janice Wilson, how straight they were marching and how good the flags and everything were so straight. Oh my goodness.
It was truly a family.
Yes.
We had so many events. I see that Boo Brown is trying to connect in, but we're not getting his device in.
Look at
He said
Bugle.
he's backstage, but I don't. Oh, there we go. I'm gonna add him to the stream. So,
Look at
Boo, I'm sorry. You were connected. I just didn't see. Look
No
at
problem.
these photos. I see a lot of people. You guys see anybody you
wow.
recognize?
Yeah, I
Mhm.
see Jetta, a lot of people. Oh my goodness. Kim Wilson, Laverne
Jetta
Jackson.
Johnson.
My
Mhm.
sister.
I can't hear y'all.
Okay, Aiden Brown, Boo Brown has joined us. Boo,
I
how long
can't
have you
hear y'all.
been? Who is that
I can't
saying?
hear you.
Who is that that's saying I
Jeri,
can't hear
that's
you?
Jeri
You
Ann.
muted me and I can't hear anything. I
Okay,
don't
let
know if
me.
y'all can hear me, but
We can
I can
hear
hear
you,
you.
Jerry. Jerry, you may need to.
nope, I don't hear you.
We
Um.
can't even see
I'll go
Jeri
off and
Ann.
come back.
Okay, hon, come back in. It's difficult sometimes when you have so many guests on the stage. Sometimes it's just that's just the way it is. So let's see.
What did
Lori
I try to
says
do?
we had to be perfect. Oh yeah,
Oh my
Mr.
God, what
Wade
did
and
I
them, they
just
didn't
do?
play that. We had to be perfect. Um, Teresa Garman. Hello,
Oh my God, what did I do? I
Jerry.
just logged
Okay,
myself out.
I'm back. Yeah, I couldn't hear
okay,
y'all at all. I don't know what
What did I
happened.
do? I just
okay.
didn't stop.
Okay. So the drum and bugle corps, Mr. and Mrs. Wade started, really it was Mr. Wade, started the drum and bugle corps in 1961 with an all-male band. I think he just put his heart out for males, because black males in particular are an endangered species, and they always have been. So I think that was his goal, or at least that's what I read in some of the newspaper articles. Um, so at that time, he put, I don't know how old Jeri and Ronnie were, but they were, who was over, who knows? Debbie, do you know who was over in the beginning, the drum line? I remember, I think Ronnie was over the drum line when he became of age, but in the beginning, was he?
They were so small. I don't think anybody was over anything. It was literally,
Just my granddad
I was,
and my yep.
yeah, just that. It was so small. It was just like a couple flags, like the American flags, two drums, maybe two horns. It was just like literally so small. I remember a black and white picture. Ronnie asked me yesterday, did I have the picture of them marching down Franklin Street from Franklin Park to the Sheldon complex? Um,
Okay.
yeah, it was just like a small. And then Jeri was the over the whole, drums and horns. He take care of all of that, the leader over all of that until I came into the picture. And then they had me being the leader of that Yeah, so that's what I remember. I joined at 6 years old.
No, I joined. I was a youth. I think I was okay. So Billy's asking for. Let me hold on. I think I joined as a youth, and I came in as Hold on, guys. I'm get this so I can send it to him. Someone wants to come in on the platform. Okay, there you go. I joined as a like 12 or 13, and Billy and I were only in it for about 5 years when high school just kind of interrupted me. Jeri, when did you join? Now you are the daughter of Jeri Wade, and he did the horns, right?
I was just look. I was like they mascot at first, so I think I was probably about 3 or 4
Yep.
marching in the
Yeah.
parade.
Yep.
But when I made the Wonderland section, I was about 6 or 7 as a Littlest drum major because I wanted to be like my auntie so much. I wanted to be up there, and yeah, so I joined in. I remember one parade in particular. Debbie wasn't there, so I had to lead the parade by myself. And my dad was like, "You gonna be able to do it?" I said, "Yeah." And he was like, "So anytime you see a good crowd, you put your fist up, and then we'll do the drum roll, and then we'll play Superstar." Let me tell you, I did that so many times in the parade. My dad was so mad at me. He said, "Man, they had to play Superstar so much. He was so tired."
Oh goodness.
Hold on, I got somebody wanting to come to the platform, but I can't reach them.
All
I'm
right. But
gonna
yeah,
try to.
he wasn't happy about that one that day because I said, "Well," he said, "Well, you did good, but now we had to play Superstar way too much." I was just proud. I like hearing my dad from the solo. So
I remember
Yeah.
get the place
yeah.
superstar the whole
You
story.
Hi,
guys, if you're
Billy.
not talking, mute your screen.
Hi y'all.
Hey,
Hey,
Hey.
Billy.
Good to see y'all.
You
So,
too.
Billy, yeah,
Mr.
Billy and I
Smith, how you
came
doing?
in.
What's up, boo?
Put on your earpiece.
Just a
Boo,
minute.
when did
Hey,
you join the drum and bugle corps?
say it again.
Boo Boo, when did
I
you
was
join the?
12 or 13.
You
I was
remember
like
the
12 or
year?
13.
Okay.
I think it was 19. Well, Jetta, my sister Jetta was in it, and her and Charlene was in it. And I'll tell you where they were. They wasn't at the Sheldon complex. They were at the
No.
church on the corner of Eastern and Loveland.
right there across from our house.
Yep.
That's where we used to. That was the
Yeah,
first
across
time,
from the house.
That was
and
the
then
That's the
they
first
first.
moved
one.
to the Sheldon
Yeah,
complex.
Yep.
Yeah,
that was the first location.
Yep.
Eastern Avenue Church.
Oh, I
Right.
don't remember
Right.
that.
Right. And so,
Yeah.
yeah, I was about 12 or 13, and I always knew Mrs. Wade because
Okay, yeah, he
she
said
was
it broke
already
up.
she was at Henry School. Yeah, so when I started coming out in the Sheldon complex, I wasn't even in it then because they had it. The guy who was playing the timbales, his name was Henry. I can't remember Hank's last name, but he played the timbales. After Hank left, I got a chance.
Yeah,
Mr.
he
Wade
died
asked
too.
me, did I know how to play that? Yep. And he allowed me to play with him, because back then I was getting in a lot of trouble. And Mr. Wade, he sat down, he talked to me, he told me he knew my family, he knew the Brown family, and that he could help me. And he did. He really did.
He gave us something to
Okay.
do
Yep.
also.
As well as your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, y'all, Mr. and Mrs. Brooks, she helped me as well. So the Wade family and Mrs. Brooks, I owe a lot to them.
Okay. Hold on, we got some comments.
It kept us out of a lot of trouble, that's for sure.
Yeah, it did. It did.
Gave us something to do every couple of days a week and on the weekends and travel and get
And
to see
most
places
of it,
a
Right.
lot of
most
people
of
would
our
have never
travel
seen.
happened during the summer months, spring
Yeah,
and
but
summer. And we did some, of course, we
Right.
did some Christmas parades and some Labor Day parades, but it happened a lot happened in summer. Gabriel says, I was taught how to play the horn. I was so proud to be a part of it, and today can truly appreciate the love that was allocated towards the younger inner city Black children, and we used to shut it down. Yeah, we did.
We did.
I recall.
Yeah, we did.
Yes, it
No,
was.
Jeri used to shut it down.
It
Jeri
was
used to
so.
shut it down.
The band was so amazing. It was just amazing, especially the drum line.
Yes.
And it just when I was in it, when we practiced at Sheldon Complex,
Yeah,
and
me
all the
too.
neighborhood would come out just to watch us practice.
Yeah.
So Reverend Hudson says,
Right.
"Are you all related to Ronnie Wade?"
Yeah, Ronnie Wade is my uncle and her
Yes.
brother.
That's right.
My
So
brother.
it's Debbie Wade's brother and Jeri Wade's uncle.
Yep.
Jeri Wade, little Jeri, right here is the daughter of Big Jeri Wade.
Trumpeter extraordinaire.
Lori said I was flag girl first, and Debbie blew me for guns.
The rifle.
Same
She said the good.
I moved to rifles too, Lori.
Remember them twirling rifles, boy?
The rifles was kind of raggedy. They would tear up your legs if you dropped them.
Boy, but I remember we used to go to Canada. Them folks in Canada loved us.
Oh, they loved
We
us.
go up to Ontario, man.
Yeah.
That
That
was the longest parade ever.
Yeah.
5 or 6
It was.
miles. But
I remember walking across whatever bridge that was. It felt like we was gonna fall through.
Absolutely.
And me and Stephanie was holding up.
Absolutely.
We were so held on the wind.
I think that was a 5 mile parade.
It was at least 5 miles.
It was 6. I remember faint.
6.
Yeah.
That's right. That's what I thought, Debbie. It was 6.
Yeah, 6 miles.
6 miles long. And when they told us it was like 6 miles.
6 miles. We knew somebody was gonna faint every time. Somebody.
Alyssa Johnson says, "Yes, that's my granddad's brother, Jerome Wade." Okay.
That's Aisha. That's my daughter.
Aisha. Okay.
Aisha.
That's Jeri and daughter. That's my niece.
Oh, okay.
I had some Janice Wilson. It's Sheila Doc trying to call me now. I'm gonna I'll call her later. Janice Wilson made a post and said, I do remember the core. I used to wake up Saturday mornings watching the Jackson cartoons, waiting for those pleated skirts and march in Holland in different cities. What an experience and discipline. I love Mr. and Mrs. Wade. Rest in peace, both of you. Yeah. The drum and bugle corps was the best and great childhood memory. The drum beat is still in my head, and holding that flag, what a great memory.
Aw.
Scarlet Rain.
Robert Hamlet also
awesome. Thank you, babe.
Yeah. Robert Hamlet also said, I played drums, love to march in the parade. 6 Mile Parade in Canada. Marched in Chicago Seaway Festival, Muskegon, the Coast Guard Festival, and Grand Haven. I love my Wade family. We was one family and friends, priceless times in life. Mr. and Mrs. Wade were like our parents. Rest well, miss you and love you both. I wish the drum and bugle corps was still around. It would have kept a lot. My phone blinked out. It would have kept a lot of kids off the street.
It would have. We were sponsored by I remember Ted Raspberry and the Kent Cap, Kent Community Action Program, and also the American Legion Crispus Attucks Post 59 also was a sponsor.
Yes, sir.
Huh?
Ma'am.
Yeah.
I say yes, ma'am.
Yes. The children need us in the community.
You guys remember marching?
We do.
You guys remember marching in Christmas parade used to be so cold.
Yes. I couldn't because I was playing sports, fortunately. I was playing football.
Right. Yeah.
He said fortunately.
Yes, fortunately.
Right.
Because Mr. Wade, he would call and ask, and my mom would be like, Mom, look, I got a game. I can't go out there in that cold and snow. I got a game coming up. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm telling y'all 40 years later, I know. But.
Right.
Let me tell you.
Right.
My memories is always having a house full of people at our house the night before. We had everybody and their mama spend the night at our house, and my dad would make enchiladas. He would always make his enchiladas, and everybody would eat. We'd watch movies. We'd be up 6 o'clock in the morning.
We used to come from Logan. We used to walk from Logan Street all the way up to your house.
Well, we
And
lived on
just-
Logan. Yeah.
Yeah.
we would walk up because we lived on one end, y'all lived on the other. We would walk all the way up there to visit
Right.
the night before, just like you said, every
Yep.
Friday night.
Mhm.
We was down there.
My mom or my
Yep.
dad would cook, and everybody would eat.
Hey,
and
I got one for
we
you.
had so many people laid out on the floors.
He said who passed out. Bunch of people passed out in them
Jerry
parades.
house is it.
Shoot, Chicago, them parades was hot. Hollins.
Okay, I have one for y'all.
Yes.
I remember I was in the Central High School marching band. It was me, Jim Pickens, Steve Tompkins, and Fred Couch. And we were supposed to march. We were supposed to march in the Veterans Day parade. We was in the 10th grade, and God bless his soul. He's doing really, really good now. His name was Greg Knowles. He was the band teacher of Central High School marching band. And so that whole week we were in the band and we were practicing for that show. And so me and Fred and Jim and the Thompsons, we got together. We was like, we gotta tell him. He said, tell him what? He said, the part of the grade to be in a Central High School marching band, you had to march in every parade. Mr. Knowles allowed us guys to march with the Scarlet Rangers.
Oh, wow.
And we still got that A. And he still gave us the grade.
That's what's up.
We were the band that our drum and bugle corps was so fantastic. Even people today that I'm friends with on Facebook, they tell me all the time, whatever happened, to that, and I was telling one of the drummers that was in the Central High School marching band, his name is Louis Senegals. He's a school teacher and a music teacher over in I think it's Riverside, if I'm not mistaken. And he says, I remember when y'all played and y'all didn't play in the band. He said we was so good, we sounded so good. He said he wanted to join. But the thing about it was, we were an all black drum and bugle corps.
Yeah.
And I remember because Robert was telling me about, we went, I don't know if y'all remember, we went to Chicago. And Chicago had an all black drum and bugle corps.
Yep.
Yeah.
And they had way more drums, way more flags, way more everything. It was I tried to Google them the other day to find out what it was.
I can't remember the name of the Chicago group.
I remember it. They were bad too. I remember.
Yeah, but I remember who they was. But I'm gonna tell you, I remember one of the guys coming to us after the parade, and he was like, "For y'all to be 50, 60 members, y'all are bad." Because it was 100 and some members in their band. They had some 40 some drummers.
Oh yeah.
So because me and Billy, we used to, every weekend that we marched, I would stay at the Smith's house. Yep. And we would walk. I remember going up there to the picnics and doing all that. I remember, but it was it was so good to have something to do.
Yeah, yeah.
We stayed together. We learned a lot. Yeah.
That Chicago
trip,
and it was always amazing.
But it's
like the thing that I really, really, really remember and relish about that time was to hear the solos that used to come out of our horn section. I mean, you guys know they stored our stuff at the Sheldon. It wasn't like they was taking these trumpet. Jerry was probably taking this trumpet home because he was the master, but we weren't taking our drums home and playing them and practicing. We were getting to practice maybe twice a week.
Right.
No.
So some of us had limited skills, and to be able to come together, as you said, unify and discipline. Like the one thing, having been an athlete and being in the drum and bugle corps at the same time, initially I didn't want to do it. But when my mom got me into it and then I started coming, I did not want to do it. And it was always a conflict between, I was glad when summer came so I could travel and do that. I was never a serious musician in any, but they gave me a chance to play everywhere. And just to be there and see the discipline. And the one thing that really stood out to me was Mr. Wade. Love him and Mrs. Wade, but Mr. Wade, because he did treat us like a pops. And sometimes he had to treat us like a real pops. and he had to say some things to us that we needed to hear. And
Yeah.
He was not shy to discipline if he needed to discipline, but there was always love that came behind it. Like when Sandy sent me this thing and I said, Scarlet Rangers, oh my God, I gotta get on it. This is great to see y'all. Just let me say that first of all. And it's amazing to hear these stories. And I know it's people out there that aren't even on that have stories, but to hear these stories and to see you all still here and to realize that was a legacy. That the year they started it was the year I was born.
Yeah.
So to hear that, and then all these years later to know it's still being talked about, and what you said, Boo, is true. We would go places as small as we were, and we thought we were huge, if y'all remember, until we got to a parade and saw just how big Drum and Bugle Corps
Oh
were.
yeah, especially the color guard, the
we were
Coast
so
Guard
small,
Festival.
but so impactful. Our drum section was cold to the core.
Yeah.
Our horn set, and then all the ladies. I don't even know who trained you on the flags. Who was that, Debbie? Was it you? Did you train the flag?
Yeah.
So always tight, always precision. People weren't dropping everything all the time. Like we were really good to be 50, 60, whatever we had at that time. So
let me tell you. Do you guys remember?
I wouldn't be able to spin a rifle and throw it in the air without dropping it today.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
Do you guys remember being in the competition?
Say it again.
We had one drum.
Yeah,
we had one
drum
corps competition at Houseman Field.
I do.
Yes, May Dandridge wrote that. She said, shoot, I got it. She said, love this outlet as a teen. I started as a flag girl, then taught myself how to spin the rifle with a broom. I remember helping Miss Wade make our uniform skirts. My favorite memory was our competition at Houseman Field. We rocked the house.
And all I remember is they played that one song. It was it was a commercial.
It's Marlboro. It's Marlboro. It was the Marlboro
man.
man.
My favorite.
Yeah.
Because Jeri got to show out. He got to show out.
Oh, he was cutting up. And we stood on the side
of
the
window. Man. We were marching. I got chill bumps.
Yep. They was
hey, I'm gonna tell you something, Billy. When I just envisioned it, and when Jeri would play that, he'd hit that highest note on the bugle.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna tell you, I have chill bumps on me right now because I remember that being at Houseman Field.
Absolutely.
But you know what I remember. I'm gonna see if y'all remember this. Jeri, you might be a little too young, but you're an old soul, so you know. We went to a competition, and it was the coachman.
Yep.
And it was the midshipman.
Yes.
And the midshipman was there.
Yep.
And it was the Phantom and the Phantom Regiment.
Phantom Regiment.
And all of us, we were sitting all out there. It was out there in Kentwood, and back then in that day, back in that time, going across 60th Street, that was just unheard of for us to do. But to be able to travel and see these different type of groups, I'm gonna tell you, it was like I can remember the I'm gonna say this like this, and no disrespect to them. The troublemakers of the Sheldon complex were the Vassar boys. Mr. and Mrs. Wade changed their lives to where they wasn't doing all that stuff there. You know, you wanted them to be around. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You wanted them to be around, and you know, I know Ronnie is doing well. I haven't heard from Travis.
Ronnie, Ronnie says, "Hey y'all."
Okay, good.
Hey, honey, dripper, yes.
Honey dripper.
Yeah.
No, I didn't. Not the honey dripper. Mine was Mary Had a Little Lamb.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
But I tell you, it was.
Jeri used to do that
just to see.
Y'all remember when Jeri used to do that one step? He'd do them one step where he make everybody march up and down and then step back
yes,
up.
Sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. Hey, you guys, I got this one memory though from Sheila Dock. And she wanted me to make sure I shared this. It says, I remember the Scarlet Rangers drum and bugle corps very well. We lived down the street. from the Sheldon complex, and I would hear the drums and horns playing, and I wondered what was going on. The sound was amazing to
Yes.
me. I would often look back to see if it was a parade coming. I was told later on that the musical noise I was hearing was the practice of the Scarlet Rangers drum and bugle corps. Through an acquaintance, longtime friend and sister, Debra Wade, and she invited me to join. There were two of my nieces and a brother that joined too. I started out as a flag girl. After watching Debbie with the rifle, I was so impressed with, oh my God, so impressed with her. I wanted to twirl the rifle too. For me, this was a challenge. I think I hit myself upside the head a couple times, but it got better. The Wade family was such a loving family and giving people. They all are beautiful souls. What amazed me about them was the energy, patience, and sacrifices they gave to me. To me, they were my second family. The outcome from the practices when we participated in the parades were awesome. I don't know if anyone else felt like this, but I felt like a celebrity when we marched down the streets in our red, black, and white uniforms. The drummers, the horn
Yes.
players, flags moving
Yes.
White
forward and
boots.
backwards, rifles swirling, and everyone in sync. The sound that we made as we marched on brought viewers to their feet with shouting, clapping, and whistling and praises. I was so proud to be part of something that blessed the hearts of people. At the same
Mm.
time, we were all a
Wow.
all black drum and bugle corps. Being with the Scarlet Rangers was exciting and so much fun. I embraced new friendships, learned new skills, and learned what dedication and commitment meant, and was amazed at all of the God-given talents of our team.
Mm.
What a wonderful ordained journey it was. I will always remember it. Thanks to the Wade family. We love you guys.
Aw.
Aw.
So
All right,
wasn't
hold
Yes.
on. All
go
right,
ahead.
I'm going to interrupt and I have another set of pictures that I want to show. So don't go away. It's only a couple minutes long.
Yeah. Go ahead, y'all.
I remember them
Oh,
outfits.
And Kenny and Kimball.
Yes,
I
sir.
remember them outfits.
Yes,
Aw.
sir. Downtown GR.
Wow.
Man, look at that.
Wow.
We was
That
tight.
is so
Boy, we was tight.
amazing.
Oh, we was tight. Dang.
Wow.
And we was never off step.
Look at
Ever.
that.
Never.
No.
Ever.
Never.
Oh, I remember
Because
those.
Debbie would be so
Them
mad.
was the hottest
Debbie
shirts
would be
ever,
so
y'all.
mad.
Them was the hottest shirts
Yeah.
ever.
Look at.
Them
Yeah.
satin red shirts was the hottest shirts
Wow. I was so glad to get rid of them shirts that didn't make no
ever. Bruh,
sense.
you ain't said a thing. Yeah.
Look at
Because
that.
remember,
brother.
I had 3 drums.
Miss my
I had
dad.
3 drums I had to play.
Yes, you did. I remember when they had me playing the
Yeah.
bass when I first started. And
Look
that
at
big old
that.
bass.
Go on, you guys.
You didn't like it.
Woo!
Oh no, now walking 6 miles.
Look at do it, y'all.
Look at Renard.
Hey,
You
I
see
know it.
Renard, Jerry?
Look
No,
at that.
it
Look at
went too
Jerry.
fast.
Look at Jerry. Yeah.
Hey, wasn't Lawrence with us too? Drumming.
Look at
Lawrence
Butchie.
McFall?
Look at Butchie with the
It was
contrabass.
me, Renard, and Jenny.
Wasn't
Wow.
Lawrence McFall playing in the drum section too?
He
Yeah, I
played
think
in the
me
drum
and Jerry
section
played
before I got
snares.
it. Before I got there.
He
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
in there
Before I
my
got
first
there.
couple years before you came.
Look
Yeah,
at
he was
Fred and,
drumming too,
and Steve.
huh?
Yeah.
Oh,
But you know, I tell you
I
one
forgot
thing.
all about
One thing
Renard.
I
We
do.
were-
Hey,
Oh,
do you
Ronald
know?
said we had a 6-mile
And
parade
this
in
is
Philly
just.
in 1968.
Oh, that was before my time, Ron.
They was in '68. It was way before my
Yeah.
time.
Way before
Hey,
my
but you
time.
know what? You
We
know,
know
Debbie,
he
this is one
remembered.
thing
He was the one
that
that Daddy started with him.
Okay.
What did we lose? We lost
right.
Jerry.
They were little boys though. You know, they were little boys though. But you know, I just
He
remember
was one of the first ones. That's why I wanted him in there
as
because he started. He couldn't log on. No.
right.
He was the one. Him.
He
Jerry,
just keep
him,
trying because I had to
Ronnie,
do the same
Jerry.
thing.
I
It was
remember.
Ronnie, Jerry, Robert
And
Johnson,
even the Welches, even y'all cousins,
Romeo,
the Welches, one of
Romeo.
Calvin Welch,
Boo Boo, what are you saying? Hold on, Boo Boo. What are you saying, Debra?
I said it was
She stuck.
Ronnie, Jeri, Robert Johnson, Romeo, Marty. I can't remember their last name. Marty. I can't remember who else. Somebody named I can't remember. I know it was only like 8 of them in the beginning. That's what they started with. And I remember they used to practice where it used to be Sheldon School.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And they practiced down there, and I remember I was 6 because I got hit in the head with one of them heavy rifles, and it split my head right here when they was practicing.
Okay.
So let me ask this question, Debbie, if I could. What was that you remember? What was the driving force to your parents starting the Drum and Bugle Corps? Were they musicians? Were they band members? What was that driving force for them to start this?
It was exactly what Sandy said. It was keep the young Black males out of trouble, to try to keep them so they wouldn't get in trouble. And I don't know. My dad played at South. He played. I want to say, I wish Ronnie was on here. Jeri Ann probably trombone, wasn't it? Jeri Ann dad played at South too.
From what I heard, Granddad could play.
My dad did.
Can you wait a minute before? Yeah. From what I heard, Granddad could play quite a few instruments, so he was the one who was teaching at first.
Okay.
And then Dad joined in helping him teach how to play.
And then Jeri,
Yeah.
Jerry
According to the articles I read,
Ronnie with the drums.
So the article said he loved music.
Yeah.
And he basically, they were, a couple. He and Mrs. Wade were a couple with children growing up, and saw the need for the community to fill a gap for the kids who weren't athletic, who weren't in all the school teams.
Yeah.
So so they, that's where they started, but they found a sponsor, and that was key because of the first uniforms. Right, Wade is saying, Freddie Spearman,
Freddie Spearman and Cue Ball.
Cue Ball, right?
Forgot about Freddie Spearman.
Cue Ball, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thanks,
Freddie,
brother.
Freddie.
Yeah. So
no, he know.
Yeah, but this, just like I was out.
Well, I have another.
I
got another memory.
But
I got another memory, y'all.
Okay, Jeri, go ahead.
So one memory was when we were at the the Coast Guard Festival in Grand Haven, and little Debbie saw Sammy Davis Jr. in a car. We'd be right before the parade. She came and grabbed me and ran me all the way over to Sammy, and they put me inside his convertible. And I remember my dad telling me that Sammy Davis Jr. had a glass eye. So I was like all in all because I love Sammy Davis Jr. But then all I could do is look at his eye. The whole time I'm like, he was like, "Oh, you're so beautiful, your beautiful eyes." And I'm looking at that eye. He's like, "What you want to be?" I said, "A singer." He said, but that's all I could look at. Debbie was all happy. We didn't even get no picture with him or nothing. We just sat in the car with him.
So in the same,
but it was cool.
In the same Grand Haven parade, I never forget this. We all over there, and we waiting on, I think Freddie, and we waiting on Freddie Spearman, and we waiting on a couple more drummers. I think Lawrence McFall. Well, they get pulled over by the state police coming from Grand Rapids to Grand Haven.
Oh wow!
Because them jokers doing like 15 miles an hour on the freeway.
Oh
and
man!
They got there and they was like, "Man,
oh wow!"
And they was late, and Mr. Wade was ticked. Boy, he was mad. He was hot as fire. Because, we would normally all go together on a bus, but they were older, so they drove.
Right. Yeah.
They literally told me to do, they said, "Man, we're doing 15 miles an hour in the car."
Right.
What do you think going to happen if you're doing 15 miles an hour on the freeway? Well, we know why they was doing
15 miles an hour, yeah. 15 miles an hour, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, here's one for you, Billy. Here's one for
Teresa.
you. We're on our way that summer.
Hi, Teresa.
We played in we in Marston, Canada. We were on our way to Canada, and I wasn't feeling good that day. And Travis Vassar just kept at me and kept at me and kept. I'm talking about from Grand Rapids time we got on the highway all the way to Detroit. We going over the Ambassador Bridge. We get to the highest point of the Ambassador Bridge, and Travis started me. I said, Travis Vassar, if you keep on, this is the highest point in heaven that you will ever get. And everybody on the bus died laughing. I was, you know, I wasn't feeling good. I just, yeah.
I kind of
closest to heaven that you ever gonna get. And
I remember that. Even the bus driver.
Because everybody, you know, everybody, yeah, they were laughing. But you know, it was the family core of it. But I'm gonna share this with y'all, and I don't think Debbie probably don't even notice about your father and your mother. Do you know how many children that did not have money to even eat at a parade? Because that food wasn't free.
No.
You know, going to the get a chili, to get a corn dog, or to get an elephant ear. Mr. and Mrs. Wade came out of their pocket a lot of times to help a lot of even us brown boys. I had 3 brothers that played it. There's 3 of us that played with the Scarlet Rangers, and Mom couldn't afford to do, you know, everything for all of us. But Mr. and Mrs. Wade, they were gems in the community. And you know, I wrote it on Jeri Ann's page that without the Scarlet Rangers, without, you know, Mr. and Mrs. Wade, I don't know what would have happened to me. You know, I did get into some trouble at 14 and was shipped to Chicago. And Sarah Brooks begged my mom to come back and get me, said that they would look out for me and make sure. And that was the first summer that I spent at the Smith's house on Logan. That was the very first summer I had turned 14, getting ready to be 15, and I got in some trouble. And Mr. and Mrs. Wade took me under. They kept me from going to penitentiary at 17 years old because I was supposed to go to prison. So Mr. and Mrs. Wade done so much. I wrote this on her page, on Jeri Ann's page, and I said if God would ever to bless me with enough money, I would come back to Grand Rapids and start a drum and bugle corps. Would name it the Scarlet Rangers. Amen. With their blessings. Because the reason why things are happening today in Grand Rapids and everywhere, we have nothing to do. There's no kink cap. There's no CETA programs. No. Everybody wasn't a Billy Smith. Everybody wasn't a track star. Everybody wasn't a football player. You know, Billy was dual sports. So Mr. and Mrs. Wade, that outlook for them was good. Yeah. I can't even remember even cussing, smoking cigarettes or none of that while we was with the Wades. Oh no, that never happened. That never happened. So as a parent, you know, Uncle Chuck, you know, God rest your soul. I know you smiling down on us today. You taught a lot of us a lot of things. Not trying to brag or boast on anything, but I just want to say this. Even the child that I was and end up growing to be, and some things did happen to me in my lifetime, Mr. and Mrs. Wade was also about school and about education. And I ended up with a master's degree in psychology. That's just me. I was listening to Billy's pod. He was on with his sister a couple of some other time. That's the first one I ever saw of her doing this speak. Billy Smith ended up a law enforcement officer doing his thing. You have people that's playing sports, that play sports, that was in there, professional sport. Here's one for y'all. I had a cousin, his name was Ronald Spearman. He played the cymbals. I remember him and Jahan then played the cymbals. Yeah. Ronald Spearman is a member of Parliament Funkadelic since 1999. He's doing his thing now. He was even at the White House just for Christmas. Scarlet so Rangers. You can imagine the lifestyle from the Scarlet Rangers. This all comes from the Scarlet Rangers, and I truly appreciate Mrs. Wade, because you know, it's like I said, we did things. We were a family, you know. To be riding on the bus with somebody and he's slobbing and you laying next to him from a long trip, because them 6 miles, that's not a, you know, people look at 6 miles, That ain't bad. People run 6 miles every day, but you're carrying equipment. You got a hot uniform on. You're in step. God gave us Charles and Lorna Wade for a reason.
Yeah.
Amen.
And
Amen.
I always thank them. Always.
So,
Always.
so two
I
things
really
for
miss
me.
them. You know, I really
Wait,
miss
hold
them.
on. Billy, hold on. Hold that thought. Ronnie Wade says Sam Hawkins. We
Yep.
can't forget who.
Mike
Oh,
Johnson.
we lost Bugle. Let him
We
come
lost
back.
Mike.
Ronnie Wade said Sam Hawkins. Y'all remember Sam Hawkins? He was in one of those photos.
Yes,
And then,
yes. He
and
was the
Mike
lead
Johnson of Brown's
leader in
Funeral
the band.
Home. Rest in peace.
Okay.
Yes. So
Yeah.
yes, Ronnie, thanks for that
I
too.
can't
Because Sam
drum
Hawkins
major
is
and
big. And Lori
I-
says she
yeah.
remember.
I can't
And
major after him.
Sheila
Sheila
Burst.
Doc.
Sheila Doc. Okay.
Hey,
Happy New
Sheila.
Year.
Hi, Sheila.
Okay.
Yeah, so I remember, the Friday nights and our mom, making, bologna and cheese sandwiches. And
Oh my
like Bugle
gosh.
said,
Yeah.
us sitting on the bus, hot, leaning on each other. We didn't, hey, let's face it, y'all, we wasn't riding on Greyhounds, y'all,
No,
And
we
Mr. Wade
wasn't.
was driving a lot of times and, but it was good. And, the thing is, and like Bugle, I was a recipient or the fortunate one to come out and I got to referee professional sports for almost 15
Yeah,
years.
I see you.
But the
Wow.
discipline that I gained from, like I told you guys, I was in sports in high school, but after a while, it was like, man, like I'm in the drum and bugle corps. And as I sit here now and think about it, I think about all the things we did and all you guys' stories and the discipline that was instilled in us. But I'm gonna say this to you, Mr. and Mrs. Wade, and this is what's interesting. I knew their first names, but I have never called either one of them by that because
Right.
it was a
Me neither.
respect thing. It was always
Wow.
Mr. Wade and Mrs. Wade. It was never Charles. I knew that was done. And when you said it, boy, I hadn't even thought about it all these years because it was always, but it was interesting because I never had a fear of Mr. Wade, but I had what I would call, and I tell my kids or my grandkids, I have a healthy respect for this man.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Yes. Yes.
you knew
Wow.
Yes.
he had this, and I see you shaking your head, Jeri. He had this way about him that was calming and loving, but you knew there was something down there that you didn't do it the right way. He's going to straighten you out, and he's going to try the right way first, and then the next way you might not want. And I saw him have to
Right.
get into a couple guys at practice over the years, and I'm telling you, you stand back and you go, he ain't coming back to my line and saying nothing to me. I'm going to stand right here. And Mrs. Wade
Right.
just phenomenal, just a phenomenal one. But all those making sandwiches and trying to feed folk, we was always sharing. Like that's
Yeah.
what it was for us.
Man.
We didn't know another way. And we had to do that. And now all these years later, we can sit here and talk about what an impact it had on not only our lives, but the generations that come after us because we have these stories to tell.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
Ronnie said amen to that.
Well, I'm telling
Gabriel
you,
says,
I never. Oh, go ahead, Gabriel.
she
Proverbs
said,
22,
train up a
says,
child
way
in
to
the
go,
way
brother.
you go when he's older, he won't depart. I may have strayed as a young man due to the pain that I experienced growing up, but it was later on that I began to march to a different beat. Even though we don't see a harvest immediately, we know that at least a seed was planted. It takes
Yes, sir.
effort to
Amen.
grow and
Yes.
get so many things from it.
Amen.
In this world that's sweltered with the heat of the injustice, I'm thankful to find shade by the love.
Amen, brother.
Amen. Yes.
Amen, Gabriel.
Amen, brother.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right, Gabe.
Thanks, Gabriel. That was nice.
Yeah, my grandfather and them, they never really had to discipline me. I guess it's because I was a grandkid, but
Right.
I mean, but I mean, just seeing, the respect that they demanded, which really wasn't. They didn't have a lot of tough love, but they just demanded respect. I mean, that people respect them just because who they were, and from that, I respected people as well. Miss Smith was just on here saying, what is Mrs. Spearman's real first name, and I never knew it. I
There
always
you
knew her as
go.
Mrs. Smith,
That's
Mrs.
right.
Spearman. I
And
mean,
she's my
Oh,
cousin, and I still don't know it.
well,
Yeah.
I don't
Jahan
know it.
told us, and my mom, I thought my mom was gonna get on here. I hate that she couldn't, but but Jahan told us what it was. But I just I really appreciate this, y'all. I've been going through a lot of depression since my dad passed away, last year, 2/22/22. So it's kind of hard listening to this, but I super duper appreciate this whole everything that's happening right now. Like, this is helping a lot.
Good. Let me just also say, Jeri, Puppet used to come to practices pregnant with you.
She sure did.
And then when she had you, you were coming in the stroller. You've been coming since you were like a newborn.
She was marching in the stroller.
And you even
was.
You were a good child. So I can understand why they would not have needed to discipline you, but you came up in that life. You came up in that life. So as soon as you was walking, you was marching.
Right.
Marching around.
But look, when she became the drum major, when she became the drum major, little the picture that her and Debbie standing next to each other, that's one. I remember another one.
Oh, that in the Wonderland section.
Yeah, the Wonderland, right.
Yeah.
She was so little. This girl, the way Debbie Wade marched, is like Debbie spit on her to make her walk the same way. And that was so, because I was, you know what, a lot of times they would be on the side, because remember, it was the flags, the girls who carried the banners, then the flag, then the rifle, rifles, the flag, then what was the girl, Trudy Rogers and them niece, oh my God, the one that was the drum major, she was a drum major too, the flag girl,
Jenny.
she was the flag girl leader, Jenny. Yeah, that's her sister, right. Then it was me, and then it was the rest of the snares, and then everybody else going backwards.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you, I used to watch that little girl, and she would be moving just like her auntie. Just like her. Just like her.
I told her I wanted to be just like her.
Yeah.
Well, you was.
I have another Kim Upton and Janice Wilson shared. I already said Janice. Kim Upton shared precious memories. Mr. and Mrs. Wade are giants in my book and real leaders in our community. I am forever grateful for their sacrifice and dedication to the work in the inner city youth for so many years. I'm sorry. They had patience of steel and they loved each and every one of us. They taught us so many things, and the meaning of teamwork being number one. Being a member kept a lot of us away from mischievous activities. They taught us to push ourselves and be the best that we be, building character and learning leadership skills along the way. Lifted our self-esteem and wanting to believe in ourselves. Nothing was beyond our reach. Our hard work paid off with each performance. Thank you, Mr. and Mrs. Wade. I believe God blessed them with being a blessing to us. Continue to rest peacefully.
Amen.
Wow.
That was nice.
Wow.
Yeah, I think
you guys remember
Jackie was in the corps as well. She was a flag girl. Jackie Upton. Jackie?
Yeah,
Jackie.
Yeah.
Yeah, Jackie
and Kim. Yep.
You guys remember that time we was down practicing at Sheldon Complex? I literally cried so hard. You guys remember when my mom tripped over Jeri Ann and fell and her glasses
I remember
her face and this part?
Yeah.
You remember that? She didn't want Jeri Ann to fall, so she caught Jeri Ann and her glasses, this part went in her face, and I screamed like bloody murder. I cried so hard because her nose started bleeding. Jeri Ann was the littlest thing, studied trying to march around, and she did not want
my grandma
to
fall.
I thought my mom.
I'm sorry, Grandma.
Renita said, "I remember that."
I remember it too.
Yeah,
I Renita.
Yeah, there was so many memories, that we can just, even our practices. Billy, you were saying that we there's a lot of musicians. We couldn't take our stuff home. And if I was a drummer, so I had drums at home, and so I could play different type of stuff. But we only practice on Thursday at 6:00.
That's
Is
right.
that all? I thought we practiced more than that.
No,
Sometimes
we
we practice
sometimes
Tuesday,
we-
Thursday.
Yes, we did. Yes, we
For
did.
the parade, they did.
For the
Yeah,
parade,
before the
Yeah, we
parades we
practiced
did.
twice
3
a
days.
But
week.
on Thursdays,
Sometimes
we're
a
just on Thursday. Yeah, like a Thursday and a Friday.
That
or
was in
something.
that was in the end. We used to practice twice a week.
Yep.
Right.
Was it twice a
I
week?
thought it
Okay.
was Tuesday, Thursday we practiced.
Yeah, Tuesday.
Twice
I
a
think it was
week.
even
Tuesdays
Tuesday,
and
Thursday.
Yep.
Yeah, because
Tuesday,
it wasn't
Thursday.
a Saturday, because on
No.
Saturday we were gone. We were
We were
gone.
getting ready to travel on Friday.
Right. But
We were always marching in a parade.
But where did we
just
get
that
the bus from, Debbie?
experience.
Debbie, where did we get the bus from? Where did
Huh?
your dad get the bus from?
Mr. and Mrs. Wade rented that bus.
My
They
dad bought
did.
that
Remember
bus.
that.
Granddad
No,
Yeah, he
my
had
did
dad
buy a
bought
bus.
That's
He
that
ended
what
up
I
bus.
buying a
thought. I
bus.
thought he
My
owned that
dad
bus.
bought that bus.
He
Yeah,
owned
he
that
bought,
bus.
but they was
My
renting the
dad
bus
bought
at
that bus
first.
because he used to have it parked. He used to have that bus parked across. First, he had to try to put it up in our driveway on Logan Street, but because of both of this driveway was so narrow, he couldn't put it in there.
Right.
And I don't know how for some work. I don't know where for the life of me. I don't know
Oh,
where
yeah,
he
Jamie.
figured out to have it parked there.
Jamie was one of the ones that
Tracy
stayed
Holland
at our house.
said, I wish
Right.
my brother Jamie Holland was still
Yeah,
with
Jamie.
us. He has so many fond memories and stories about them.
He did. Jamie practically lived at our house.
Well, everybody practically live at all
Yeah,
y'all's
Dad
houses.
used to go around. Do you get Billy? Y'all remember Dad used to drive around, and if he had to, he used to. What's that dude named Latham? His last name was Latham. Fat man.
Yeah,
He
fat
live
man.
on Logan too.
Yeah.
Yep.
Used to drop him up after the parade, right in front of his house, and pick up, go around and pick people up.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Right.
Everybody that he needed was going to get a ride. They was going to get picked up. Mr. Wade was going to make sure that the prime people got picked up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
But that was
That's right.
That was his.
But
Mr.
we
Wade
down
was
the Sheldon
always
complex parking lot at like 6:00 in the morning on a Saturday, getting ready for parade, getting the equipment in the man. It was like, as kids, we didn't want to get up that early, but we were so excited. I couldn't even hardly sleep the night before parade.
Excited to go, yeah.
It was just so we going wherever
Especially
we went.
when we knew it was going to be a carnival
we was going to show
afterwards.
out.
Oh,
right,
yeah.
especially the carnival. Because I remember one time we marched over in Grand Haven, and I must have been like 15, and I was at Ma's house. I call Ma Billy Smith and Sandra's Ma. I used to call her Ma. So I was at Ma and them's house, and Billy was just talking, just kept. I said, man, Billy, you gotta go to sleep, man. We gotta march. Oh no, man, he up and down. And I remember Mr. Brooks said, y'all need to go to sleep. Y'all got to go to sleep. I tell you, Billy was up the whole time. Then we get on the bus to go to the parade. Now he want to go to sleep. And so I started. No, I had a shoestring. No, it wasn't. It was one of the feathers from the plumes. And I used to think, you remember that, Billy? I was
Yeah.
playing
Yeah,
with
I
your
do
ears.
remember from the hat, right?
Hey, yeah, from the hat.
Yeah, I do.
And I kept tickling him, running that run. He slapped himself in the face. We had so many good times.
We were so tired in that parade. We was
my
beat
God.
in that parade. Like
Yeah,
we could
but
barely make it.
Yeah, it was hot. Like I said. But I do commend this young man,
the white
the
shoe
youngest one on the
polish.
crew.
I told that.
Johnny
Yep, I
Craig.
was just talking about that earlier. That white shoe polish.
Yes, sir.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Hey, that white shoe polish, you had to have it. You had to have it.
1 year, I know
Remember
1 year.
Mom used to bring.
Huh?
Go ahead, Sandra. Go ahead.
Well, I was just gonna say 1 year, Miss Wade made skirts for us.
Yes, she did.
She made those white skirts that had the red piping all around it.
Made them little culottes I had on in that picture.
The black ones too. The black
Yeah.
ones.
Sometimes we had money. Sometimes we had the money through sponsorships, but she made a lot of clothes for us.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Hey, don't forget about Kitty Johnson's mama. Yeah, you can't even forget about Kitty Johnson's mama.
Hi,
Kim Upton. Yeah, you can't forget about Chucky.
I remember my
Kenny and
grandma
Chucky's
used to stand
mama.
up. Huh?
Kenny and Chucky's mom.
Yeah,
we can't
Aunt
forget
Winnie used
about
to
her.
help her
Oh,
sew
yeah,
too.
we
Yeah,
don't
she,
know
she
about
used to,
Aunt Winnie.
she,
That-
yeah, and Winnie, she used to sew a lot. You know,
Aunt
she sewed a
Winnie.
lot of
Oh,
stuff
did.
for us.
Yep.
Yeah,
No,
yeah,
I
Yeah.
remember.
yeah.
Don't y'all remember
Hey,
my grandma used to
y'all
have her
remember
little
them
hand up,
sweets?
giving y'all the rules before y'all got off the bus. She had them little
Oh,
fingers bent back so far, had that one hand up and then the finger up, then one finger back. I used to always watch
yeah.
that.
Well,
Like she
that's
was
where you
bent her
got
finger.
that from, because there was always hand signals that we used. We used
I
hand
want
signals,
I
you
want to
know,
show some
to do
pictures.
certain things. Go
So
ahead.
y'all hold on. I'm gonna show. This is gonna be quick. This is a quick one.
Every time you do these, I can't see. I'm not gonna watch it. Look
You
at it.
can't see. Oh
No,
no.
I can see it, but when I go on and come back, I can't hear y'all no more. So I'm just
Oh,
gonna stay off of it. I'll
What's her
see it
name?
the next
Maxine
day.
there's the Wonderland of Littlest
Oh,
Major.
look at that.
Oh, look at
Look
Jeri,
at
and
that.
she's so cute. Still look the same.
Still.
That look like
Look at that.
there's
Miss
Freddie and
Sandy, I
Miss
see you back
Spearman,
there.
and there's one of our buses. And then this was just a
Look at Jeri back there.
Oh man, look
Look
at
at
this,
Tony
man.
Mosby. I didn't even know
Hey,
he
look
was
at
in it
mom,
that
Sean,
long ago.
Sandy.
yeah. I see
Yeah.
Mom back there. There's Debbie.
Look at
Man.
Lori.
Yeah, look at this, man. This is
Jeri.
awesome.
Wow.
The President of the United States sent us a certificate, Gerald
Gerald
Ford.
Ford. Nice.
Yep.
And we got a letter from the White House. That was in Mom's archives, Billy. And this was
Wow.
a souvenir book where she took around and bought ads for the souvenir book.
Right.
And that was
One thing
Lee's
Sarah Brooks was
certificate.
going to do was get some money for you.
You
There
know
she
it.
is. Look
You
at
know she was gonna
her.
There
find
she go right there.
Look, they got that red on too. Look
Yeah,
at
for
them.
real.
All three of them.
There's Miss
Hey,
Spearman.
hey, y'all remember Mr. Way used to love to wear them
Yeah.
red pants, boy. Mr. Way loved them red pants.
Hey, you know what?
Oh dang!
Hey,
I could have got that shirt out. I got your
Debbie,
granddad's original Scarlet Rangers shirt he used to wear too.
Oh,
do
yeah.
you?
Yep.
You need to put
check
that in the
what
frame.
Renita
You need to
said.
frame.
Woo, you
Oh.
just got finished. Hold on. Renita said, do y'all remember we marched in Canada and we were crossing the bridge and Boo Boo Brown said to us, this is the closest we're getting to heaven. We all I remember that.
Yeah, I remember that. But it was directed towards Travis Vassar, because Travis was bothering me the whole time, and I really wasn't feeling. I think I had a cold. I had a summer cold, and he kept bothering me. And kept bothering me. We got to the top, the highest point of the Ambassador Bridge. I said, that's why this is the closest to heaven you ever gonna get. And so, but I want to say this to y'all. This goes to Debbie and Ronnie, because I know Ronnie's listening. You know, I never saw Mr. Wade smile until the parade was over.
Really?
I never saw Mr. Wade smile until the parade was over. He was just so serious. And it was like, because I remember saying this one time, I said, you know, it ain't like we getting points, you know, or they taking off points. Because you remember they had a point system. It was 100 points you started with, and then you would end up with nothing. That's why you wasn't getting no trophies. But we ended up getting a lot of trophies, no sticks drops, no nothing. Mr. Wade was so serious. I always thought he was in the beginning, and as a growing up, you know, in it showed me that he was how good his heart was, how big his heart was. I never saw that man smile until after the parade. During the parade, it was like the production. He was the director, and he's going to direct this movie. And if the movie didn't go right, he wasn't going to smile.
That's
and
the
I
truth.
was telling my fiance that the other night. I said, baby, you know, I never saw him smile until after the parade. You know, after everything was over. You know, and like I said, you know,
Discipline.
I will always carry him in my heart. You know,
Discipline.
Because discipline. Man, let me tell you something. I wasn't going to even say this. I said something one day to somebody. You know, because where we used to keep the equipment at was in a separate little room from the Sheldon complex.
Right.
And I was trying to get out of there, get in the rush, you know, to get, you know, up the hill so I can go on, because I was trying to catch this little girl. That's what it was. and I pushed somebody. Mr. Ray grabbed me in my chest. He said, "Let me tell you something. That's a girl. Don't you ever push a girl like that." And I was like, "Oh," and I took that to heart. You know, that was a dad. That was a dad that I never had, and that comes from my heart. You know, I got tears in my eyes right now because our father wasn't with us, but we had our father. We had many, many, many mothers. Jerry Wade was a dad to me. Ronnie was a dad to me.
Yep.
You know, Hank. If you can ask Ronnie, what was Hank's? Henry something. I can't remember his name. He was the first one to play the timbales.
Henry, yeah, I remember Henry.
Yeah, Henry played the timbales first, and then after Henry got older, because if y'all really realize it's not, they had guys before we got there, 14,
Kenny played him
12,
for a
13
minute
years
too.
old. Yeah, Kenny did. Yeah, Kenny did. You know, I think that's when I broke my collarbone, and Kenny played. He had played, but you know, it's just the things that we went through. You know, it was tight knit. You know, not being there. You know, being around y'all. You know, that's what it was. And like I said, my heart always be with Mr. and Mrs. Wade. I remember the last time I talked to Mrs. Wade, Debbie had called her for me while we were in church, and just before she passed away. And you know, you don't have that no more. You don't have those kind of people no more. You do, but we don't have the money to do what
you talked to her before she passed away.
You know I did. You let me talk to her.
I hope you talked to her before she passed away.
Yeah, I know. I'm saying I did because you called her for me while we was at church. Me and you were at church. But this is beautiful, y'all. This is really, really beautiful.
Yeah, we need a reunion, y'all.
Ronnie said we started out as the Junior Elks IBPOEW. Because in the beginning it was all male.
Yeah.
In 61, when we started, it was all men, all young men, youth.
So that was the name of. I never even knew that, Ronnie.
Uncle Ronnie, why did they put women in there? Is it because of little Debbie?
Yeah, I was just gonna say probably when Debbie got of age, he wanted her.
We were trying to figure out what made them put the girls in there.
I could see that. Get Debbie involved.
I wonder. I think my dad said it was because of Debbie, but I don't see if Uncle Ronnie knew.
Yep.
Ronnie got a story though. Check it out. He says, "We went to Canada and the border police asked where we are from the USA, and somebody said we from Africa."
Yeah, it's my problem.
I remember that.
I don't remember that.
I definitely remember that.
He said we had a small problem.
I remember they got on the
Well, we had a small problem.
I remember that.
Oh my goodness.
And you guys remember Dad used to watch to see if when we was marching down the street, if anybody was out of step, and he'll say, "Damn, go back. You see they out of step."
Yeah, we used to have
all the way back to the horse section.
And march women make them get on step.
Yeah.
Yeah, Debbie, because I remember I had to do it too. You had to go all the way back to where that person was to get them in step.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't remember being out of step too much with Jeri, because Jeri was so precise the way he marched.
Yeah.
Like I watched Jeri. I wanted to march like Jeri. He had that walk on them hills. He marched like he been
Debbie too.
Since he was
Debbie
born.
too. Debbie was the same.
Watch Jeri. I want to march like that.
That's Misty.
Yeah, Misty Pruitt.
Debbie, send her. She wants to speak. Send her the link.
Okay.
You gotta send it to her.
I don't even think me and Misty friends.
Misty inbox.
I don't think me and Misty
Debbie.
friends.
Inbox Debbie. Are you on Facebook, Debbie?
I am.
I know she is.
Let me see.
Hi, baby. How you doing,
Auntie
sweetie?
Debbie.
Yeah, we got to wrap it up, but she want to jump in. She want to say something. So send her.
I gotta
the
go,
link.
but can I say something before I go, Sam?
Yeah.
I gotta go. But
you gotta look at
me right quick.
Yeah.
I gotta say before I go, thank you guys. Yes. I appreciate it, and I think we should have a reunion.
Oh, I just said that.
I'm seconding that, Jeri. We need to get
this year.
Everybody that's alive, if they want to come, we need to put something together as a group. And
I want to do it this year, so I'm gonna find a spot and then we can do that. Yeah.
Perfect.
Debbie, she might not be.
Hey, Billy.
She said she's working.
She says,
Billy, before you go, are you on Facebook?
yeah.
No, but you can get my information from my sister and me aside. We talk every now and then.
Okay, cool. I want to talk to you.
Yeah, he lives about 30 minutes from me.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. All right, guys. Love y'all.
Definitely
Man,
Thank
be
you.
blessed, man. Love you, man.
Love you, bro.
All right. See you, sis.
Yeah,
Thank
bye.
you.
Right.
All right.
Love you. See.
Oh, she said send her the link. Okay, and then we're gonna wrap it up. Because we can be here all night. We need a reunion. Did you, Jeri, want to make any announcements?
I just sometime this summer, I would like to probably maybe August, and maybe like the beginning part of August, we can do it.
Okay.
I got a couple of singing gigs that I gotta do out in Arizona, so I think maybe August would be it. So yeah, I think maybe if we could do the first part of August, maybe we could brainstorm something together and get together and bring together. And if anybody got an instrument, somebody can still blow Superstar with a drum. I remember the drum line.
I bet you do.
I could probably play.
Ronnie
definitely
remember it. Ronnie remember.
Let me get the horn. I could probably do my dad part if I could brush up on it. I just ain't played the trumpet in so long.
We were at practice the other day, and Mike asked me. He said, "Do you still know the drum line?" I said, "Yeah."
I remember it.
It was called Phantom Regiment. It was the Phantom Regiment drum line that we had. Jeri taught us.
Yeah, that one. And then my dad, when my dad took over, he had the younger people when they were at the 4-H. They had a dope drum line. They had to take their hats off and they did some little move. That's when Uncle Ronnie's voice was all in it. Then it was
right.
That'd be fun though. I think it'd be fun, and then it's in
y'all
honor of
keep
my
me in the loop.
granddad and my dad and them. Yeah.
Yeah, y'all keep me in the loop, and because I would definitely. I don't care where I'm at in the world. I would love to be.
Did you send her a link?
She done never inboxed me. I'm not.
I didn't send the link.
You gotta inbox her.
Huh? You got me and you not friends on Facebook. You gotta send me.
You gotta do something. You gotta send her
a request.
Inbox her, so she can send you the link to get on stage.
You know what, Sandy?
Yeah.
It was out of my brothers and sisters. It was 8 of us at one time in the drum and bugle corps.
Okay, 8 of you.
8 of it. It was Jetta, Charlene, Tina, me, Butchie, and Cook, and Jeffrey. Cy and Jeffrey. Yeah, we was all in there one time.
Okay. Yvette said, I remember being out there in that heat carrying that banner. Yeah, Yvette is a baby. As a young girl. She must have been about 10. Her sister Sandy, they were banner carriers.
Mm-hmm. I remember us carrying a banner before.
But you didn't want to carry it.
Wendy. Stephanie Johnson, my cousin Stephanie Johnson. We held on to her when we crossed over that bridge in Canada. We almost pulled Wendy down. Scared. We was crying.
Ronnie says he knows. Oh yeah.
Okay, Ronnie, we finna practice then, because we finna do this. I'm gonna get the horn, and I'm finna try to learn how to
I know Ronnie know them.
I got some timbales. Yep.
I don't think I can play like my dad did. My dad was something else on that horn.
What, the horn?
Nobody play like your dad.
Yeah, he was good. He taught. The thing about it is that a lot of the children, a lot of the kids who played the horns and the drums didn't know how to read music.
Right.
And it sounds so good. So what is Ronnie saying? Taking salt pills in the heat. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They had them what do you call them? Shakos?
We can't hear you, Debbie.
Debbie, you're on mute. Ronnie said I got you.
Sorry.
What's those Shakos hats? those Shako hat, those tall hats.
Yes.
They had
And
that
them little things
vinyl.
to poke in your head.
Oh my gosh,
Remember
them
them
things
things
made
to
you
poke down
sweat
in
like
our head?
crazy. Woo, I was so happy when I
Ooh,
graduated from the flag line to the rifles. We had jam.
Well,
Oh my
well,
God. Yes.
the drum line went from the plumes to the cowboy hats. I was happy when that happened.
Oh, I'm sure.
Because
'Cause
there's a
sweat
picture on
man.
Jeri Ann's.
was
There's a picture on
blinding.
Jeri Ann's page of it's the book that when Mr. and Mrs. Wade got the Giant Award.
Oh, it went the
And-
Wonderland section. That was
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, and then it's a picture of me playing
Sure is.
and got the cowboy hat on. I'm glad you didn't show it, but
I did show it, boo. You missed it.
I did. Okay, but listen, I could not believe I was 21 years old on that picture. So
Ronnie said
even
we was
want to
all
be in. And
great.
plus I had two babies. I had
Yeah.
two little babies.
Ronnie said
I
we
had
was
two
all
little
in
babies
good
at that show. Yep. And that parade, I had two little babies, with me. So, it was, this is really, really, wow. This is something
And
else.
just
This
think,
is something else.
I was like the youngest one there,
Yeah, you was.
and now I'm 48 years old.
Oh my God. That's a
Wow.
blessing. That's a blessing. That's a
Yeah.
blessing. That's a blessing. Because I sure enough remember
And
when
now
you
it's
got out of that
experienced.
stroller, when she got out of that stroller and she got that black and that white and that red on, and she was marching in, what, 2-3 years old?
Yep.
She was little. I remember her little outfits used to be too big. I used to have to roll her little sleeves up. We couldn't find nothing. We had to find
Yeah.
something.
Well,
we made it happen for her though.
she ended
was a
up
little
doing
thing.
what
She
she needed to
barely
do.
was walking, trying to march around there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Jeri, you should create a Facebook group because there's a lot of members who were not on here that didn't speak up.
Well, I have one, so maybe I can reinvigorate it, whatever you want to.
Yeah, we can add all these pictures to it. And whatever pictures everybody else has. Gabriel says.
Yeah, because I sure would like to get it to see everybody. I just connected back with Tony Bender, and he was in the trouble. Him and Jerry Wade, they oh my God, they was the weight. Yeah, they was the weight. They was the weight. I thought he was gonna be on.
Tony Mosley
He was
play too. He was in it.
Tony Mosley was in the drum and bugle corps. Yeah, he was in it.
Do you
know?
Did y'all see him in that picture? Did y'all see him back there standing? I never knew he was in the drum and bugle corps when at South High School. That picture you just showed, standing there with a drum on. I did not. I just seen that. I'm like, I didn't know he was in the drum and bugle corps way back there.
Yep, he was in the drum and bugle corps. Yep.
Wow.
Yep.
Gabriel says I couldn't read music, but after the drum and bugle corps, I could play Miles Davis by ear. See, that's what. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what they'll do. That's what Jeri was an amazing teacher. He had y'all whipped into shape. Well, none of you guys, but the horns.
Yeah.
Because Boo
Well,
was on
don't mess up.
Well, I tell you, me, Kenny, James Small, Ronald Spearman, Jahan, Gregory Gant. I can't even think of who else was on bass. Somebody else was on bass. Billy was on bass. Played bass.
Ron, you gotta text me if you want some pictures. Text me and I'll get them to you.
He said somebody.
Yep.
I'm gonna have the pictures. I'll have the pictures when we get done with this.
Let's work on that.
Jeri was really good, Teresa. Yep, you're right.
Yeah, let's work on this reunion. Let's see if what we could get. We started early. We can get a lot of people.
A lot of people. Jeri's smart.
He taught my brother David to blow the horn. He taught a lot of kids how to blow. Please believe. Yeah. And Gabriel said he did, and I was out of state working when I heard he passed. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it was unexpected.
Okay.
Okay, J.A. That's what they call me. J.A.
Look, I said, okay, y'all.
All right, y'all. So, anyway, we got to wrap this up because we'll be here all night because
Sure
this is
would.
what
You know, that's why we got to do the reunion. So
Get it
I'm
together.
gonna start getting things rolling. I'm gonna find the building and everything, and we'll do that. We'll cook. We'll sit around and we can play some music and then just have memories and enjoy one another. So
Right. You know, just
We
to,
already
you know, it didn't really have to be about the music, just the memories.
we gonna have the music.
Oh yeah, we gotta have music, but I'm saying just the memories, you know, of us sitting around, you know, each
Yeah,
other.
memories most definitely. But we gonna do our best to see what we can do.
Yeah.
Especially
All
if
right,
it's in the summer, we probably already got a building in mind.
Okay. Cool. But just keep me in the loop. Let me know, you know, if tag me on the new Scarlet Rangers page or whatever, and I'll be a part, you know, because like I said, you know, with y'all blessing, you know, God is doing some amazing things for me in my life. And if it ever happened, I would love to do it again. I would love to have a drum and bugle corps in Grand Rapids. You know, I really would love
it. Because I sure wanted. I had talked to the ones from the coachman, Craig cousin. I can't think of his name. Lord have mercy. You know what I'm talking about. Played the drums.
Yeah, I know you're talking about. I can't think of his name.
Filbert and Filbert and them.
Kim's,
but yeah, they played for the coachman. So Timmy and Filbert and them. Yeah. So we was talking about it. He was trying to put something together, but I wanted to do it in the honor of my grandfather, try to carry on the legacy.
Right.
Definitely. And I said, but I can't do it by myself. So.
Well, guess what?
Yeah.
You know, that's my prayer.
Kenny, get in touch with Kenny Sleet too. Kenny Sleet probably be interested.
Yeah.
He still go to competition.
Yeah, he do. I need to start going with him again. I miss them.
Yeah.
All right, guys. We're gonna wrap it up.
All
right, appreciate you guys coming on. This has been honoring Charles and Lorna Wade of the Grand Rapids Scarlet Rangers Drum and Bugle Corps. They were in operation from 1961 to about 1985, maybe. So about give or take 25 years. Major impact on our community. We've been speaking with the Wade family and friends of the Wades, who we love so much. And Teresa's saying goodbye. We appreciate you guys.
Bye.
We appreciate you.
Thank you. Thanks everybody for coming on.
All right.
Thank everybody for watching.
Sandra, thank you so much. This was amazing.
Yes.
Yeah, you are very welcome. They were like pseudo parents, you know, to all of us.
Yeah.
So was your mom too. Yeah.
Yeah, mom was big.
Yes.
Yeah. So we
all
appreciate you. All right.
Don't go good.
away.
Don't love y'all.
Thanks.
Debbie, don't go away.
Yeah, Debbie, don't hang up. All right.